All right, so for October 1st, my little empowerment card is the Union card. And again, this is the Magical Times Empowerment Cards deck. And I honestly I love these cards. They're so inspirational and I love the artwork too. But this one says, "You have seen and unseen allies. Draw upon their strength. Join forces with friends and flourish." And I was just like writing some notes about this because like as soon as I read this, I was just like, I was getting a lot. And I feel like there's a lot that sort of goes into just like being authentic and choosing the right people that feel right to you in your life. And not really, like, you don't have to be around people who don't make you feel good about yourself. You don't have to continue to be around people who might like pick on you, who might like use you as the butt of the joke and it's not really like reciprocated and you guys aren't like joking back and forth. Like sometimes that does happen and sometimes we can push that stuff aside to like to make other people more comfortable and to not really want to rock the boat in any way. But there's always the chance every single day to be around people who love you and to choose those relationships, to choose those situations that really, really see you for who you are. And, if they don't see you for who you are, that's their loss, honestly. Like, because I'm sure you're pretty cool. Because we all have our own people. We all have like our own friend groups. And like, even when I was writing these notes, I was thinking back to my brother's wedding a couple days ago and how his friends, like, I was just like watching them like talk to each other and, just the fact that I've like been around them in the past before and just the way that like they get on with each other and like bounce off of each other and just like it's just like so great to see like such a great friend group of like I don't know like 10 people like get along so well with each other and to like have like core things in common, which is really really beautiful because that is possible and we can find that at different stages of our lives. We can find that in different ways. Like sometimes, like a couple of my brother's friends, like he knew back in college, they just separated for a while and now they're like in their 30s and they're like, they've been hanging out for other reasons too that really weren't, that didn't have to do with what they did in college. But sometimes it happens like that where we can get back to other people because it fits more into a different aspect of our life. So also going through and thinking about this union card, some other empowerment, some other messages that I got was that people can see your growth even if they don't say it to you. Because the first sentence of this says, "You have seen and unseen allies." Sometimes there are people who admire us who don't really say anything, who kind of just like sit back, are just like, wow, like that person is so nice, that person is so kind, that person is so generous, they have such a great sense of humor. Sort of like what I was doing. I was just like watching them and admiring my brother's friends. But sometimes there are people like that who we don't really know. Like sometimes we can be stuck in our own worlds that we don't really see all the love around us and we don't see all the friendships and the allies, the people we have on our side. And, that's okay. Like I said, sometimes we can get our own in our own worlds and, there are bits and places for that, like when we're healing, when we're doing like a deep dive and growth and stuff like that. But there are people there who are going to recognize and appreciate your authenticity for who you are just by you being yourself and they don't really expect you to be anybody else. And sometimes, again, we can just admire people and say things in different ways and show our appreciation in different ways just by being there for that person. And, sometimes it is like an actual physical verbal thing where you are telling the person that you appreciate them, that you really like this aspect of their personality, whatever it is. But sometimes we do have people around us who don't really express that, but still appreciate us for who we are. And yeah, this was like reminding me again at my brother's wedding because so much happened there and I was just like learning so much and I was just like watching and afterwards when I was like out of it when I was home and I was talking to it with my other brother and he was like saying that people were just saying about me. They were like, "Oh my god, like she's so pretty. She just looks so pretty. She looks so great." But nobody was like saying that to me. And I was like, that's just something that I usually go through. That people don't usually say that to my face, but it's okay because I don't want to expect them to. Like sometimes we don't, again, we can admire people and not really say that to them. And I don't really look to that for validation, even though it's great, but like I still feel that amazing way on my own. Like I am like a friend to myself. And like it says on this card, you have seen and unseen allies. Sometimes we have that within ourselves. And, we should also like be appreciating ourselves more and be loving ourselves more, because sometimes I feel like I do that and then I don't really like see other people noticing or anything like that or watching. But it is always nice. It is always nice to say something nice to somebody. So if there's something nice that you want to say to somebody, absolutely go and say it. But and say it as often as you can too. There's never enough love. But another thing that I got from this card is to ask for help when you need it. You don't need to do it all alone. You can have friends. You can, like it says, draw upon their strength. You can do things with other people. You don't always have to be by yourself. There's a time and place to be by yourself. There's a time and place to like learn and to grow and to go through your own lessons. But then there's also time to come out of that and to be with your community, with your friends, with your family. And it might have been, I have written here, a lonely journey thus far, or in some pockets sometimes, but it doesn't have to continue like that. You don't have to be lonely all the time. And you can discern who you can truly trust, who appreciates you for you, and who you can count on. You can really discern and choose, really, really choose. You can take that control of your life to choose who you want to be around and who makes you feel good about yourself. And again, in like I have written here later on, reciprocating that to other people, making sure that you are that caring person to other people, that you are still, like it's a 50-50 relationship most of the time. Like at the core level, you both love each other equally, but sometimes there's like sometimes 80% that you might give and they might be giving 20 and vice versa, like in different situations. If someone's sick, whatever, all different kinds of situations, but just make sure that you are reciprocating that loyalty, that trust, and being someone that they can also count on as well. Because, I feel like when, especially in this time, when there's like so much chaos, and I feel like really understanding who people are and seeing who people are in, situations that we might not expect and like difficult situations where we can really see where somebody's values are. I feel like you should be choosing the people that you want to be around. If you want to hang out with a person, say that. If you don't want to hang out with them, you don't have to. Um, Even sometimes when that comes down to family, when it comes down to people that you've known for years, you don't have to continue a relationship if you don't see it. Um, I want to say fulfilling you, but if you don't see it aligning with your values and the things that you care about, your goals, even like if you two sometimes might be on a different track in life, and sometimes it is okay to separate for a little while. Sometimes it's okay to separate for the long haul. um, but I think the beauty in knowing yourself, being authentic and honest with yourself, is also knowing and discerning who you want to be around based on your values and your ethics and your morals and things like that, making sure that they all align, because you don't have to be around people who don't value you. You should also be around people who you value as well and you see a great relationship with. And another note I have is that working alone has its advantages, but sometimes working together with others is needed too. And, for this message for October 1st, I hope this is, just a reminder that, in any situation that you're in, maybe you're going to the store and you are, somebody's holding the door for you, so you hold the door for another person, or, you just pay it forward. You pay that kindness forward, because I feel like the more that you do that, the kindness is going to come back to you, and it's just going to, come back to you. You're going to give it out. It's just going to be like a circle where it's just, just a really great existence. And it's just, I don't know, honestly, a great way to live, because I feel like that's how I am. And I love it. So I definitely recommend, when somebody does something nice to you, see how you can pay it forward to another person, even if it's not that same person. And for my last note, I have open up to others and allow them into your world. It can be scary, but it's worth it with the right people. You can even take baby steps, but give people a chance. Give people a chance to understand you. I've talked about this in like another video where like I have always had like a difficult time with my dad and not knowing where to let him in on certain things, because he's always super defensive on certain topics. So like figuring that out has been a challenge. But there are also some times where I am easily and happily ready to let him into a certain topic, a certain point of my life. But I think that also comes with like me knowing myself and also you knowing yourself and where you want certain people to fit in your life at what levels, at what degrees. So, yeah, for today, October 1st, union, being with people, talking to people, um, wherever it feels comfortable for you, whether it is just like on social media, whether it's in your community online, community in person, at the grocery store, at CVS, at like a doctor's appointment. If you're just like chatting back and forth with somebody, see where you can find community and like foster those relationships with people, whether it's somebody you know or if it's a stranger. So yeah, I hope that was a helpful message for today. And I'm recording this the day before just so it can go up and be up that the next day. So I hope this was helpful for October 1st. Let me know how this resonates with you, but I will be back tomorrow. Bye for now.